1965?
In 1965, I was 21 years old, had all of my hair, and I was a few pounds lighter. and we were walking in twos.
Right.
And it was almost complete silence.
So from the moment you all stepped off, it was quiet.
It was so quiet, no one saying a word. Until we got to the edge of the bridge, crossing the bridge.
Such action would not be allowed on the part of any other group of citizens or non-citizens of the state of Alabama, and will not be allowed in this instance. The government must proceed in an orderly manner, and lawful and law-abiding citizens must transact their business with the government in such a manner. There will be no march between Selma, Alabama, and Montgomery, and I have so instructed the Department of Public Safety.
Despite the governor's ban, 600 people gathered at Brown Chapel AME Church on Sunday, March 7th, to begin the march to Montgomery. Dr. King was preaching in Atlanta. Hosea Williams and John Lewis led the march. Lewis chose to march even though his organization, the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, opposed SCLC's strategy and decided not to take part.
So when we got on to the street that lead across the bridge, right on the corner.
Waiting on the other side were Alabama state troopers, under orders from Governor Wallace to stop the marchers.
Some of them had on coveralls and jeans, and they was giving us the finger and that type of thing. But for the most part, pretty quiet.
Okay.
And then we got to the top of the bridge. Down below, we saw this steel blue.
Clark's posse was on the sideline.
Blue uniform. And behind the state troopers was the sheriff posse on horseback. And we continued to walk. No one saying a word. And we came within hearing distance of the state troopers. And this major identified himself and said, "I'm Major John Cloud of the Alabama State Troopers. This is an unlawful march and will not be allowed to continue. I give you 3 minutes to disperse and return to your church." And Jose said, "Major, give us a moment to pray. And before we can pass word back for people to kneel and pray," he said, "Troopers, advance." And you saw these men putting on their gas masks. And they came toward us, beating up with nightsticks, bullwhips, trampling us with horses, and releasing the tear gas. I was hit in the head by a state trooper with a nightstick. And,
in the film, it looked like when they hit you first, it was like dominoes.
Right. And people just start trampling over each other. The last thing I remember, I was just out on the ground, and I thought I was going to die. I thought I saw death. And I thought it was the Lions protest. And 41 years later, I don't recall how I made it back across the bridge, back through the street, back to the church.
54 miles and 5 days marching. They were now 25,000 strong.
As we travel the narrow way,
to me, there was never a march like this one before. There haven't been one since. It was a sense of community moving there. And as you walk, You saw people coming, waving, bringing you food or bringing you something to drink. You saw the power of the most powerful country on the face of the earth.
In the euphoria of the moment, no one could know the traditional civil rights movement would never again be the same. The fragile coalition that had shaped the movement for so long was coming to an end.
It was a great moment to go back to Montgomery because, you see, for us, it was returning to Montgomery after 10 years. And I kept thinking about 10 years earlier, how we were visibly just blacks. And when you looked at that march, you had Catholic priests and nuns, and you had other clergy, and you had a lot of white people. It was really a beautiful thing to pass Dexter Avenue and go toward the Capitol, marching together and listening to Martin's speech.
We must come to see that the end we seek is a society at peace with itself, a society that can live with its conscience. And that will be a day not of the white man, not of the black man. That will be the day of man as man. However difficult the moment, however frustrating the hour, it will not be long, because truth crushed earth will rise again. How long? Not long. Because no lie can live forever. How long? Not long. Because the arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends toward justice. How long? Not long. Because mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord. He's trampling out the vintage where the grapes of wrath are stored. He's loosed the fateful lightning of his terrible swift sword. His truth is marching on. Glory, hallelujah. Glory, hallelujah. Glory, hallelujah. Glory, hallelujah. His truth is marching on.
The words of the movement.
Their cause must be our cause too. Because it's not just Negroes, but really it's all of us who must overcome the crippling legacy of bigotry and injustice. And we shall overcome.
Lyndon Johnson came on, the late president, and said, "We shall overcome." And it's just like, you'd stuck a dagger in your heart or something like that. I mean, you know, what's this guy doing? And, you know, you had respect for your country. The South's very patriotic, but it just destroyed everything you'd been allegedly fighting for.
We were all sitting around together, and Martin was sitting in a chair looking toward the TV set. And when LBJ said, "And we shall overcome," we all cheered, and I looked over toward Martin, and Martin was very quietly sitting in the chair, and a tear ran down his cheek. It was a victory like none other. It was an affirmation of the movement.